Hello there, everyone. How's it going?
Hi.
Do a quick sanity check myself here. Yeah, every time I do this, it sounds fine, so I should stop having to do that now. Okay. Alrighty. So today we are going to go ahead and do the job of replacing these two turnouts here. So we're going to pull the old turnouts out. We're going to drill the holes through the benchwork for the new turnout tortoise throw things. We're going to glue down the new turnouts. I don't think we're going to wire. I don't think we're going to solder them in place today, but we will glue them down. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? And I don't know how far I'm going to get on this before my kid comes downstairs and starts wanting some father-son time, which is fine. Okay, so the way I'm going to end up doing this really is I'm just going to take a snap blade, come through here, kind of work up the glue that I had used to glue this thing down, just to free these turnouts. I'd like to be able to save them in case later on down the road I find a use for them. You're replacing another turnout that goes bad or that kind of thing. Let me use a larger blade. There we go. So as much as possible, I'm going to try to keep these turnouts looking good, but ungluing turnouts can be a bit of a trick. You know what? Let me think about this for a second. Because I do have to put in a new turnout, but I think it'll, yeah, okay. I can remove these turnouts and not really screw anything up track-wise. And I have done a very good job gluing these guys down. So that just makes taking them up a little trickier. As far as gluing down track and turnouts and stuff, I have used, in previous years, I used white glue. But I have recently switched over to Alex Plus Clear Silicone, I think. Which actually comes up a lot. It holds very nicely, but it comes up a lot cleaner. If you glue track or turnouts down with white glue, you're not getting those turnouts back when it comes time to pull them up off of the layout. They are going to be they're just going to be impossible to get up without destroying. But the Alex Plus clear, I think it's silicone, that will come up pretty cleanly, actually, which is nice. Okay, so to help things a little bit, I am going to cut just on the other side of the turnouts. Let me see where I'm at here. Yeah, so if I cut right there, I'm okay still. Basically all I'm doing is I'm measuring, just taking a look at where the turnouts are going to come in place here. Just making sure that wherever I end up cutting through the other track, I'm not going to screw up. Ooh, battery's low on this thing. Come on. Okay. That'll help me get the turnout off of there a little bit easier. I'm going to put this on the charger. Okay. And I didn't cut through the turnout stuff. I cut through the track, the flex track that the turnout goes into. That'll just help me kind of loosen up the turnout on that end. I tend to use a lot of glue around turnouts because I don't want them moving ever. So it just makes for a little more difficult of a removal process. One thing I'm curious about is if anyone solders their flex track together, and if so, what have your experiences been? I have. Oh, we got some people in chat. Hey, Scale Steel Milling Modeling. Easy Lock Cutting System. Very useful Dremel tool. Use it for everything. I got to check that out. Hey, Russ, how's it going? What is the Easy Lock Cutting System? I'm not sure. I know what that is. Yeah. Let me get a flathead screwdriver here. Help just to pry it off. So as far as a soldering track together, in the past I soldered all my straight sections and left my curves unsoldered. I think I read that in a model we wrote or somebody suggested doing that. And I was kind of having some issues with, granted I was pretty new at the time. Oh, this is not wanting to come up at all. But I started having issues where the curved flex track would kind of kink at where two pieces come together. So on this layout, and then I never had problems with straight track. So, but of course that straight track was also soldered together. But on this layout, I ended up soldering on my straight track, and no, I'm sorry, I started soldering on my curved track and left my straight track unsoldered. And I also, on the previous layout, I soldered all of my turnouts to the flex track, and that became an issue when I had to remove turnouts. And I'm having an issue now. But it was just like, you know, I had to it was impossible to move those turnouts once I had soldered them on. I won't say impossible. It was just a much bigger deal. So now I don't solder my turnouts. I don't solder my straight track, but I do solder my curved track. I also did that thing. I tried a thing in my staging where, you know, you have the two rails. Instead of on a curved track, them coming together like this, I offset them by like an inch. So they come together, or 2 inches maybe. So they come together. They don't come together the same spot, so they don't kink in the same spot. I tried that on one section, and it was such a pain in the butt. And then I felt it was even a worse connection because I had to remove so many ties in order to get that to work like that, that I felt like I weakened it. So I didn't do it anywhere else. It seems like a good idea, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really helped anything. Man, these turnouts are on here so freaking tight. This glue does not want to move. I think I used too much glue, because honestly, like, the glue is fine, but like, I feel like the ballasting really is what holds those tracks in place. I don't think I need to have used this much glue. I may have to just break these turnouts up. I don't know what I can. Whew, man. I just it's not wanting to move at all. Oh, the cutting wheel that I'm using. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. This is a very old cutting wheel, but yeah, it's got that quick connect kind of lock system on it, which is cool. It seems to hold things on better. You are right. I'm going to end up destroying this turnout trying to take it up. I have spares. Well, yeah, I have spares. And honestly, these are micro engineering turnouts. And as good as they are, I think the Walthers turnouts are much better turnouts these days. And so if I do replace turnouts, I'm probably just going to end up replacing with Walthers turnouts anyway. This is coming. There you are, Ben.
What are you doing, Daddy?
I am live streaming to YouTube while I work. You see me working on the screen there?
Yeah.
What you doing?
I see how you're
You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Wait.
Hmm?
Why are you editing a video?
Why am I editing a video?
Yeah.
I'm streaming a video right now, not editing the video. Yep, I just destroyed one turnout. Okay, I destroyed one turnout. Let's see if I can save one turnout, because I just destroyed one.
That's good.
You like it?
Yeah.
Cool. I think I saved one turnout while destroying the other. Okay. Yeah, you track nails on the outside of the alignment. I think I'm gonna. Oops, I forgot to turn on my soldering iron to unsolder
Oh, that's
my
good. That's okay.
my track. Yeah, I think you're right there. To go with the track nail approach. I think I may end up just going back and adding track nails in my staging. Although, with the way this glue is holding this track on, I may not need to.
I can see your nose. I say your nose.
Yeah, but I may go back into staging and then add track nails along those curves on the outside of the curve just for safety's sake. Do it while I'm young and I don't have a problem crawling back into there. I've got an interesting issue of sorts. Where I've got, this is code 70 rail, this is code 83 rail. Both microengineering, so I've got the little transition joiners to make that work. But the new track is Walther's code 83. So I don't know that those little plastic transition joiners are going to work on that. Guess we're going to have to find out, huh? Bonus issue is I don't have any more of the plastic transition joiners. I have to reuse these.
You use tools to do things.
I do use tools to do things, don't I?
Yeah, and build things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what you use tools for. Okay, we'll unsolder that before we mess with that too much. All right, so this turnout is destroyed, so we're not going to worry about being kind to this one as we pull it up. I don't think I properly soldered. Oh no, I did. Okay, I was thinking I was starting to think I didn't properly solder this one, the wiring onto this turnout. Solder with enough wiring. I always make sure my turnouts have. I'm not relying on like the track that the turnout's joined with for electrical connection. Always make sure the turnouts have every little piece of track on there wired up. And this is an advertisement for Alex Plus silicone caulk, because that stuff is not wanting to release.
You got a lot of tools in there, man.
Yeah, I got a lot of tools.
You never want to.
Well, when you get it to be an adult, you're going to collect a lot of tools too.
I had to stick this up on the wall. You had to stick that up on the wall when it was Father's Day.
Yeah, put your Father's Day thing up on the wall.
Yeah. Hey. This is the do like you have, Dad. This is the do like you have.
What?
This is the do like you have.
A tool like I have, yeah.
And the tape measure like you have too.
Yeah, tape measure like what I have.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
You have a tape measure too, don't you?
Yeah. It's a toy tape measure.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Toy tape measures are cool too. Hey, look at that. 2 released. Okay, now I'm going to desolder this track here.
This hot dog with brown ketchup on it. There's some ketchup on it, and
There's one.
some mustard with brown. There's brown mustard on it.
Ooh, that got hot.
There's some fires. I see some fires. And
Okay.
In case we got those trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got a secret for soldering that I use. I use these little alligator clip. These were like, this was like an old like soldering station. Alligator clips, the big old piece of wire on it. But I will apply that little clip. Let's see if I can get the camera in a little closer. I'll apply that little clip to the track right next to where the solder joint is. So when I'm soldering, or in this case, I want to save this turnout desoldering, it pulls the heat away from the plastic so that I don't melt my plastic. Because I have in the past, I'm not a great solderer, so I have in the past melted plastic ties. Because I did that way. Ooh, and as I'm looking at this right now, I am realizing that this piece of track right here was never had any power being applied to it at all. Because I wired it up wrong. And I am very glad that I discovered that now. Question: have you ever tried a thin blade like a hacksaw blade to cut underneath track? I haven't, but wondering if it'd be more effective. Since the little guys are already tool nut, good for the future depends on them. Faith in humanity restored. Great with the heat sink clip. Okay, so like a hacksaw blade, I have not tried that. What I like about these guys is they can kind of bend and get under the track. So it's not really a matter of, I don't know. The hacksaw blade probably. Well, oh, and the other thing I want to do is I don't want to ruin my cork roadbed if at all possible. So if I can save that by not cutting into it, I want to do that. And then this piece of switch is destroyed, so I don't need to worry about the little heatsink thing going on with that. Okay. So all my wires are now saved for my new pieces of track. That can go away. The green wire is for my frogs. And yeah, that's what that is for. Okay, that's garbage. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come in here and just clean up the glue a little bit.
Tomorrow?
Huh?
Will you bring it tomorrow?
Will I be building this tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm going to be building this seemingly for the rest of my life.
How many days?
How long is it going to take me to build this?
Yeah.
10 years. Probably 20 years, if I'm being honest about it.
70, 90, 10 years. That's a long time, right, Daddy?
It's a very long time.
Yeah.
You're going to be in college before I get this done, honestly.
Yeah.
You're going to start, actually, you're going to start a YouTube channel of your own, like NS Modeler, where you're going to talk all about you and your dad's railroad. You're going to become ultra famous. Actually, don't do that. Wait until you're an adult to start YouTube channels, please.
It can be a long time. So you can do that.
So I'm just kind of coming through here and I'm scraping all the loose glue off the surface, trying not to get into the cork itself. This actually may be kind of a time-consuming thing. I don't know that I'm going to get into the stream all the way through the process of laying the new bits of track down. This is a high traffic area of the layout, so I'm going to make sure that I'm taking my time and doing it right. I'm not going to rush the process of replacing these turnouts. So if I don't get all the way through this in this stream, there might be a part 2. Starting to get a little messy, so I'm going to grab my favorite tool in my collection.
What is that?
My little dust vacuum. keep it nice and tidy. That's the secret to.
Keep it nice and clean every day.
That's a secret to a good looking layout is you keep it nice and clean and tidy as much as possible. It takes a little bit longer to do, but you get very good results because you have kept your area clean. And looking nice.
Why is the bags up there? Why is the bags up there?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, because the dog.
How did it get up there?
I put it up there.
You got it up there?
Mm-hmm.
It peed up there?
Yep.
It makes it. No, if you put the dog there a very long time. You put it a very long time. Why, Daddy? You put it there for a very long time.
If I'm leaving, pardon me. If I'm leaving too much of these little gooey bits hanging loose like this, it's going to like press up against the bottom of the track, and potentially I don't want my track feeling like it's like bumping up above the cork in this one section here because I have like a thick layer of glue that I haven't removed. So that's what this step is all about. It's just kind of removing that layer of glue because I'm going to put another layer of glue back on it. So I don't want, you know, with modeling, even a millimeter shows up really well in pictures. So if there's any sort of like bump up in this area where these switches are, it will show up in pictures. It may operate fine, but I don't want it showing up in pictures. I have super elevation on all my curves on my main line, or and those super elevations are just like 3 layers of masking tape, and that's enough to make that super elevation work realistically. So it doesn't take much height change for something to kind of show up and be very apparent. Interestingly, there's not a lot of glue here, but there's a lot of glue here. Turned out that I was having the most problems with the course. Best tool in my collection. Everyone get one of these. I think it was like $15 on Amazon too.
Why is it wobbling?
Yeah, the vacuum is, I think, just go on Amazon and look for like Duster vacuum or something like that. You'll find a bunch of different brands that are the exact same thing, just being sold under somebody else's name.
Hey,
And they're cheap. They're like under $20. I think I paid $15 for mine on like an Amazon day or something.
There's a vehicle up here.
The best tool you will buy for your model railroad, hands down. And what's cool is it comes with attachments. So not only does it suck, but it blows. She's gone from suck to blow. That was a Spaceballs reference. Sorry. It was a little more explicit coming out than it was in my head. That was from Spaceballs. No, it's got a little attachment to the vacuum acts almost like a little air duster, like canned air. So it's really good for dusting your models and your trees and everything else as well. I tend to get a little anal about making sure that everything is dusted on a regular basis, because I think we've all seen layouts that are older layouts and everything's got a fine layer of dust over it. And trying to avoid that as much as possible with my layout. Don't touch the computer, buddy. Okay. Yeah, so along with dusting everything regularly, I also have a air purifier in this room that runs 24/7. And I keep my doors closed, and I have a drop ceiling and all that to help with the dust as well. The air purifier honestly has done gangbusters to keep the dust situation under control. I have had very little need to dust since installed that thing. So get yourself a nice air purifier one that's rated for larger room spaces than the one that you have, and just run it on low 24/7. And you'll be surprised at how much less dust kind of accumulates on your models and all your flat surfaces. Another thing I also stopped doing was cutting wood, or anything else that gets a lot of sawdust or anything else airborne in this room. I don't do that anymore now that I started modeling my scenery. That all used to do that in this room, and now all that is done outside, or at least in the other room, so that I'm not filling my room with airborne particles.
Baby Yoda.
Man, no glue here, tons of glue here. No clue why that is. We've almost got it though. I'm pretty impressed that I had that one piece of track that was never powered on that turnout. You know what though? Maybe it does get power. No, I'm not seeing any crossover.
This Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda.
Hmm.
Baby Yoda. This Baby Yoda. Right there.
No, I don't think it was ever powered. So I had one little piece of track on that turnout that was never powered at all, and I don't think I ever noticed a dropout right there in that section at all anywhere. I guess that shows you the power of multiple contact points on a locomotive and current keepers.
because I'm fixing babies.
I haven't powered any of my frogs on this layout yet either. I've got a bunch of frog juicers so that I can power all those frogs, but I have not installed them yet. I have heard people having issues with frog juicers in the past with DCC locomotives and stuff. So I kind of was playing a wait and see approach to whether or not I was going to install them and use them on the layout. And I just haven't had an issue with it yet. The one issue I have was with my steam locomotive, and I think frog juicers would maybe help that one, but that's more a problem with the decoder on the locomotive itself than with the fact that the frogs aren't powered. Okay. One little spot I'm going to clean up a little bit more, and then we're ready to install some turnouts. What are you doing? Don't touch anything. Note to self, this much glue may not be necessary. Holy cow, there's a lot of glue. Okay, I think I'm good. I think this is good.
That's a trade I think how much it is.
What?
That's a trade thing, right?
It's a controller.
Yeah, for the trains.
Yep, for the trains.
That's how much. That makes the dingy noise. That makes the dingy noise, right?
It allows you to turn on the bell. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and the dingy noise.
Oh, yeah. When I turn on the layout for the first time, there's a little ding noise. Okay. Time to install the new. Well, no, it's not time to install them. I have to measure for the.
I can get it.
Where I'm going to drill the holes for. Yes, I do need that. I need a measure to drill holes. For the tortoise switch machines to come up through the bottom and actuate. And I also need to cut that. What am I going to do first, buddy? Let's trim our track a little shorter first, and then we'll measure to drill holes.
Okay. That's good. Why, Daddy?
Yes, my son. Okay. Toddlers, when they are quiet, they found the latex paint bucket and are having the most fun decorating. Don't give him ideas. Okay, now I'm just trimming the track, the flex track, so that I can put these longer turnouts in place. Come on. I'm not going to use the tape measure right now, buddy, but thank you.
What are you going to use it for?
I don't need a tape measure right now.
Ready, steady, go!
Well, I got to take the Dremel and remove a little piece of plastic so I can remove those ties as well.
Hey, some glue. Just like some glue. Uncle Henry! Uncle Henry! Uncle Henry!
All right, buddy, you want to go upstairs?
Why?
Because you're starting to make a lot of noise. I'm see if I can get my Dremel in here without destroying my backdrop. Here, I'll pull that tree out. Trying to do this without ruining the rail.
Yeah, you're pretty scary.
All right. Gives me enough room to slide rail joiners under there.
Ready. Seven, 8, 9, 10.
How well does that fit? That fits precisely. It might be a bit too tight, but I can take a file to it.
saying without me.
Okay. So we'll put that one in place just for the moment. We'll line this one up. I think I'm going to have to cut on both sides on this one. All right, Ben.
What?
If you're going to be running in circles, then you're going to have to go upstairs. So I don't know if I told everyone, forgive me if I've already said this, but I'm using number 8s in place of the number 6s that were here before, just to kind of give it a little bit of a broader, better looking, looks better when I've got my long cars kind of coming through the turnouts. Only spot on the layout with number 8s, at least at this point. My swing gate on the far end of the yard could also potentially have number 8s on it if I wanted to change those turnouts out. I may do that just because that is a section that's kind of funky right now as far as getting cars in and out of the crossover. It's a crossover I don't hardly use. So I don't know that's 100% necessary that I replace those turnouts, and maybe I just leave it for when. Where did I put my Dremel? I just had a Dremel and now it's gone. The boy does not have it. I'm losing my mind. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Gosh. Yeah, all of my cars can get through number 6s okay. It's just, I think when there's a combination of things going on, those 6s can sometimes be an issue. Like, for example, I'm coming off of a curve here. And so I think it's maybe the way that microengineering engineers their turnouts. Walthers has a little notch cut into the rail so that the switch point kind of inserts into that notch. And so the cars pass over it cleanly. Microengineering doesn't do that. So there's a chance for the flanges to pick that switch point. And so when you're coming off a curve like this and it picks that switch point, it's going to derail the train. So if you've got your switches, if you got some straight track between your turnout and your switch, you're going to be in a lot better shape. Yeah, and so that was one thing I was having problems with here is it would derail the train as it was come out of this curve. So these Walther switches, which are better engineered in my opinion, I think will help out a lot for that with that. Better engineered, and also number 8s having the longer switch points and stuff. I think it's just going to help out a lot. I think it's going to help out a whole lot. Oops. Cool. Hey, thanks for stopping by Scale Steel Mill. Hey, Kyle. How's it going? Okay, let's see here. Place these in place here. See how everything lines up. Not too bad. I do need to file down some track a little bit. But yeah, okay, so the boy's going crazy, and I've been going for nearly an hour. I like to keep these live streams to about an hour, so I'm going to call it here for now. I'm going to continue working on this off and on throughout the day. I got some yard work to do as well, but at least I've got the old turnouts removed, and I got these. Oh, man, I love the number 8s. And they're not much longer than number 6s. Like if you've got a larger space and you can accommodate number 8s, I would say go for it.
It makes them so.
Because let me show you an example. So you can kind of see the difference between number 8 and number 6. Okay. Hold on. Let me pull the camera up in the back a little bit. Here's number 6 and here's number 8. Now that looks like it's a lot longer right now. Oops, can you see? Sorry. So it looks a lot longer. But let me line up the frogs. Okay, so here we are. Frogs are lined up. You were talking about 2 inches on either side, maybe, of the frog. About an inch. Yeah, about 2 inches to the points here. So honestly, I mean, not that much more. Obviously, you're going to, as you add more turnouts this direction. Sorry if that's not in the screen. If you add more turnouts, you're taking up a lot more space. But the difference between number 6 and number 8 is not major at all. Obviously, if you've got a smaller layout, if you're trying to cram a lot of stuff in there, maybe on yards and that kind of thing, number 8s are not ideal. I get that. Like I use number 6s on this layout in every other section, and that's probably very smart. But if you can afford to like throw a number 8 here and there, I say go for it. If you've got like a single spur coming off of like a main line, and you think a number 8 would work for that, you've got crossovers especially. I think number 8s for crossovers are, I mean, almost a must. They look that good. Okay, cool. I'm calling it here for the time being, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Kyle, get some rest. All righty. Appreciate everyone being around. I'll see everyone in another live stream.
Auntie,